Good evening, sir. So, today I'll be talking about a scam of 1992 which took place in India, and the person responsible, the person who was involved in that scam was Harshad Mehta. He was a businessman, he was a stock broker actually at the starting, which ultimately turned into a businessman by manipulating the Indian banking system and the Indian stock market. The gameplay of that person was that, for example, there are like 4 or 5 banks. So in India, I don't know about the Canada, but in India banks has this some kind of security forms or certificates by which they can get money from other banks or from the reserve bank as a form of loan, and they repay those loans with some interest and get those receipts back. So what this person did, he acted as a broker between 2 banks. He took the bank receipts from one bank who is going to sell their securities, and he took the money from the other bank who is going to buy the securities, and he managed to manage some time from both the banks, that he needs some time to make the deal out of it. In between that time, he invested his money, the money he took from both the banks, he invested that money into the stock market. What happened next? The prices of any stock, like in which he invested his money, the prices went up. And at one point when everybody else saw that the stock is growing, so they also started investing some money into the same stock. And when that happened, he took out all of the money from it, and he made like a huge amount out of it. So that was his main robbery. What went wrong? When the stock market broke at one point, he was in a big loss, and he was not able to repay the banks because he was manipulating with different banks at one time. Like, he was taking money from one bank and then giving it to another, and in between he was investing the money into the stock market, and till the time he wasn't getting the money back, he was dealing with other banks also. So when the stock market broke down, he wasn't able to pay the money to all of the banks, and that was the time when he got caught. And when he was charged with everything, so at the time, like, he was having like 71 criminal cases on him, and more than 1000, like 1000 crores, I would say, like, as a debt, like, because the banks were asking for the money back, but he was unable to repay them. And that was a huge hit to the Indian market, Indian banking system, and Indian stock market. And ultimately, at the last, he was banned from being a broker, and he died in around 2001 at the time of New Year. So this was the scam I wanted to talk about.